I'm Jeff Benshetler with BranchPoint Inc. and today I'm going to do an introduction to the Boost Date Time library. Manipulating dates and times is frustrating and not terribly portable using the standard facilities. There's somewhat richer facilities available under Unix. Windows has its own set, but if you want to do something that works between them, you have quite a bit of effort to put in. So this tutorial is going to show you how to use both the date portion, looking at your Gregorian dates, and also look at the time function to get access to some high-resolution timers. And we're going to put that to use measuring the performance cost of a virtual function. Well, let's get started looking at the Gregorian dates, and we're going to look at how many days until Christmas. Everybody likes Christmas, and when are we going to get our toys? So let's do that. What I have here is I have a C source file. All I have is I have some commentary, I have input output, and then I have just main flushed out with a little bit of code here that I like to use whenever I'm developing the IDE. What this code does is, without it, if you run it in the IDE, the program will flash on the screen, flash off, and you won't get. And I have a header file that I've created for a class we're going to build. This class is going to be reusable, and it's going to be, I think, quite useful to you. We'll get to that a little bit further in. Let's start off by, we want to calculate the days until Christmas. And we're going to say boost date time Gregorian boost. Oh, I haven't brought in anything. So we need to bring in a header file, boost date time. Give that a chance to parse. Gregorian date from when. Default that value to boost Gregorian day clock local day. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create Christmas. So we know Christmas is always on December 25th. So we're going to, rather than having to retype boost Gregorian date every time, we're going to say using namespace boost Gregorian. And then we're going to say date Christmas. And we're going to construct it with the current year, so from when dot year, and then 12/25. Now, what if we're in the week between Christmas and New Year's? For between Christmas and New Year's, we really need to look at the next year's Christmas. So we say if from when is greater than Christmas, and notice we get to use normal comparison operators on dates, which is really nice. And we're going to say Christmas equals date of from when dot year plus 1, 12/25. Now we need a date duration until Christmas And that equals Christmas, which we've made sure is later than when we're doing the calculation from. Then we can say return until Christmas dot days. We'll say standard, we'll say using namespace standard. Now notice I don't put it at the file scope. In the CPP it would be okay to put it at the file scope, but I try and keep the using namespaces localized to function scopes, particularly because if you're doing a using namespace, the file scope in a header file is considered very rude because you pollute the namespace of any client using your class. Cout, there are days until Christmas, days until next Christmas. Now, let's set the properties on this. I'm going to change this back to being debug. Let's build it. Let's take a look. There are 171 days until next Christmas. That sounds good to me. It's the middle of the summer here, so that's just about right.